everyone, it's me, Nikki. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing my December wrap-up. Let me start with the... now I have to find... I closed? Of course I did. There we go. I closed my call pile for the year and now I've forgotten. So let's see. I'm trying to remember what I read in January that wasn't on my December that wasn't on my physical shelf. Okay, I read Foundry Side. I will put it here. The cover. This is the first in the Founders trilogy, and it is labeled LGBT, but it's really hinted at. The magic is really interesting. It's sort of steampunky. I would definitely say it's adult. 'Cause there are some things that happen that people of a tender age. So if that upsets you, it's pretty funny. There's a character whose name I've completely forgotten, and he is a main character because there's like a little found family type of thing. And he is hysterical. And I really enjoyed all the characters, even though I can't remember their names because I have the mind of a sieve. I would like to read it physically. I think it would probably stick in my brain better that way. The audio narrator was really good though. And so this is about Sansia, I believe is how you pronounce that. And she's a thief, and she is tasked to steal something from one of the merchant houses who control everything. She's tasked to steal an artifact, but she can't look at it or touch it. So what's like the first thing she does? Look at it and touches it. And that unlocks some secrets. And it sort of sets everything into motion. One of the characters, he's like a cop, but they don't really have police. But he wants them to, and he wants the houses to be more regulated. I believe he's the one that one of the houses the house that she steals from. But I don't remember. Again. And yeah, they just come together. There's 4 or 5 main-ish characters. Sansia takes up a lot of the narrative. But some of the others talk as, you can see their points of view as well. I cannot find any of the character names, so I apologize for that. But I really enjoyed it. And like I said, I would love to read it physically and then read the trilogy. And then the other book I read that was not on my TBR, I got from, these both came from Libby. I used my library. Is Nimona by N.D. Stevenson. It is a graphic novel. And yeah, I liked it. It's about Nimona, who is a shapeshifter, and she becomes Lord Ballister Blackheart's sidekick. He's the villain who is against Sir Ambrosius Golden Loin. I thought it was lion, but it's golden loin. And yeah, they fight against the institution of law enforcement and heroics, and I don't know, I just really liked it. It's 272 pages. It's not super long. It's a bit, there is, again, it's listed as LGBT, but it's sort of more hinted at, like Foundry side. Yeah, all the characters were really fun. Nimona is interesting. I want to know more about her. I kind of wish there was a sequel, just so you could, or like a prequel or something, but I believe N.D. Stevenson also does Lumberjanes, so they might still be working on that. I'm not sure. But I quite enjoyed it, yes. Okay, let me talk about the books I physically read. They're all down here on the floor. I have too many books in the house at the moment. Not enough of them on shelves. So first, we're going to talk about these 4 books. The Enter the Whisper, Secret of the Delvers, The Invasion of Luster, and The Wounded Tree. I loved these so much. Like, okay, so stuff has happened to Kara in the first 2 books, and it continues to happen. The Whisperer is the main antagonist. Because he doesn't really have a form. They call him a he, but I'm going to go with they. He is just, I don't even know if he has a color, but darkness probably. And they go to your other antagonists and even some of their protagonists, and whisper in their ear. That's why they're called that. And it's like, oh, you should do this thing. You know you want to. You know you want to. There's one of our characters from the first 2 books, the Dimbletham, who, again, I hope by book 7 we figure out what's going on with him. But the Whisperer goes to the Dimbletham and is like, you should do this really bad thing. And he's like, no, 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 no. But unfortunately he does it. Apologies. And it is how you get to the invasion of Luster. And it's Kara, they cannot stop it. It's like set in motion. So now, by the time we're here, it's just the unicorns trying to fight back. And the Secret of the Delvers, they live underground, and in this book, it's pointed out that they're pretty dwarf-like. Like, their language is similar to dwarf language, so you learn some things about them. You get to meet centaurs. Kara has to do something that she finds difficult, but she does it to learn the secret of the Delvers and more about the Whisperer. And then in the Invasion of Luster, Beloved, who we originally thought was our main antagonist, invades, except she does it through the World Tree. Not next to it, but through it. I don't believe she knew that was going to happen. I believe the Whisperer did. So, Luster is in trouble by book 6. It's literally falling apart because the World Tree is the one thing keeping it together. So Beloved comes with her hunters. Unicorns are unfortunately killed. However, one of the young girls, they have to call the unicorns to them, sort of has a mental breakdown about it, because I would imagine that, because she, which I found interesting, I liked it was also from, because Kara's father used to be one of Beloved's, and he's changed his mind, and it's nice to see how it works for the adult men who do the killing, but I do like to see how the teenage girls who were brought in to essentially seduce unicorns and be bait have felt about that. And I would imagine seeing a unicorn killed who you've only heard stories about. You might not have believed, because this character was like an orphan and sort of brought into it. I don't believe related to Beloved in any way. But maybe. And then she sees it and she freaks out, which is what I think would happen. And is it this one? Yes, this one, they get a dragon. The unicorns get a dragon to help them. You get her backstory, which is fascinating. It's supposedly based on a legend. Like, she became a dragon, and there's a whole legend about it, but I don't know the legend. I don't even know if it's real, but it's still really good. And at some point, her father and mother and a couple other characters enter Luster, and then she meets them, not her parents, unfortunately, but she meets some of the other characters, and it's like, oh, they're so close to, like, all coming together. And I think in book 7, everybody's headed toward the World Tree for this last stand, and I think it's all going to come. I'm so excited. I'm so mad I have to wait a year for the physical copy of this book and to find out what happens. But, like, the inner child in me is extremely happy to have these and to have read them. So I hope I didn't spoil too much. A book almost fell on my foot. So yeah, I really wanted to get this done in December, and I did. I read a couple of these, like, in a day. They're not very long. Like, book 4 and 6 are probably the longest. But they're really good. Okay, I read The Last Battle by C.S. Lewis. I think I gave this, let's see. I only gave this 2 stars. I didn't really enjoy it. He did Susan so fucking dirty in this book. Like, so dirty. I'm so mad about it. It was the worst, I think. Because, at some point, Susan and the oldest boy, whose name I can't remember, not Lucy, Eustace. Yes, where are they? Wait, Peter. I believe. Or is that the other one? Who cares? The oldest 2 don't get to come, which is why Lucy and the other one do. And then Eustace and Jill. But Susan's the only one who doesn't get, like, anything. They do her so dirty. They all talk shit about her. And then I didn't really like the ending. It was sort of like, ooh, look. And I'm like, oh, that's not very good. I did like the sort of beginning. There's a king who's one of Caspian's descendants who is like the last king for a while, and stuff happens with him, which is interesting. But I don't know. It's after the Voyage of the Dawn Treader. I do like the Silver Chair because I have good memories of the PBS special. But after that, I don't really like them. The Magician's Nephew was okay. I think that was better than The Horse and His Boy and The Last Battle. But yeah, I didn't like this at all. So that finished that, and then I read The Sanctuary Within the Sanctuary of Wings, a memoir by Lady Trent. This is the last of the 5 books, and I'm kind of sad about it. I wish there was like another one, because she didn't die. She was just old, and right there. That's the young her. It looks like Maggie Smith, actually. Both of them. So that's interesting. It kept nagging me. Who does she look like? That's who she looks like. And again, it's just sort of a continuation of what Lady Trent does to find dragons. This time it's in a Nepal, Tibet, Himalaya type area, because it's not on Earth, which I was always sad about. Because they went to like Africa type place. Oh. My cat's interested in this one. No, he's sleeping. A Pacific Island type place. And just stuff like that. So, but yeah, now they're in a wintry place, and there's a lot of snow and cold, and it's winter, and they get snowed in, and they find some surprising things. And Isabella uses her brain to once again save the day. And this time, she gets the credit for it. So, yes, I liked it. All the characters were great. Isabella, of course. Her husband, Suhail, I believe is how it's pronounced. Tom, her brother, who's been in it a couple times. He's always fun. And then the new characters that are introduced are also great. So, yeah. I don't know what to say. It's great. The writing, you really feel like Isabella is in the cold at one point, and you really feel it. So, yeah. And then the last one was The Titan's Curse. Percy Jackson, the 3rd out of 5. And this one is... this introduces some new characters. It starts with Grover and I think Annabelle and Percy going to rescue some kids from a bad place that is run by the people who want to kill them. And it just goes wrong from there, really. Talia, no, it's Talia, no, Annabeth is there, and it's Talia, and, at some point, both Annabeth and Talia, talk about how the kid who switched sides, whose name I can't remember, Luke. They keep talking about how he can change, and he gets really mad about it. And I think he's jealous, especially of Annabeth talking up Luke. So yeah, and this is more about Percy turning 16. He's 14, so he's got 2 years before the final battle and the prophecy. There was some stuff, I think, in the beginning about not the final battle prophecy, but another one, and they wouldn't tell him anything, and I'm like, that is a problem for me. I think if you are part of a prophecy, or you might be, you should know about it, especially if you're a kid, because if you keep things from them, they're not going to know what the danger is. So, yeah. Annabeth's dad is in this, and he is a fucking badass. I loved her dad so much. It ends on a little cliffhanger. Oh, that's not it. Again, that's not it. Where am I? Yeah. It ends on a little cliffhanger, which I'm excited for. And it again follows a sort of Greek myth stories, like they go on a journey, they meet the hardships, they say not to do the things, they end up doing the things, people don't make it back. But yeah, I'm excited for the next one. I'm excited for the TV show. I just wish the kids would know more, especially Percy, but I guess, 'cause I can't remember in Greek myths if they didn't know about the thing. Well, if they did, they didn't really have anyone to interpret it for them, but they have Chiron, for Christ's sake. So, Dionysus gets a little bit of a backstory here, which I really enjoyed. Basically find out why he doesn't really like heroes. If you know the myth, you know why. But he is more than just a party god. He's also terrifying. So, yeah. That's what I read. I'm excited, like I said, to, continue this and eventually get that 7th book. And I'm glad I finished some series and made like a pretty big dent in them. So that was my goal for December. I wanted to do more, but I just didn't have the time. Anyway, that's what I read in December. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope your day is going very well, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.